October 11th meeting of the Meriwether County Board of Commissioners. We'd like to ask at this time if you'd please silence your cell phones until the meeting is over. If you would please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for a beautiful day that you've given us. We thank you that we have the opportunity to come together to discuss the business of the county. And as always, dear Lord, we just ask that you will guide our thoughts, our words, our actions, that we will truly do what will give glory to you and be in the best interest of those who live here. We thank you for those who are here today. We ask that you be with them as they travel back to their respective places and give them a safe trip. And we pray these things in your name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we adopt the agenda, we have two amendments. Under new business, we need to add a number 12 and 13. Number 12 will be to hear a request from the Lake Meriwether Board. Number 13 will be the approval of the state radar list. Can we have a motion to adopt the agenda? Second.
Madam Chair.
All in favor? We have the minutes from the September 26th special call meeting and the September 26th regular meeting. We've had the opportunity to look over these minutes. Are there any changes or corrections?
Having reviewed them, I move we accept both as presented.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? We come now for the time for the municipal comments. We have Mayor Glover from Greenville.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I really don't have anything today.
Oh, wow.
Glad you're here. We have Mr. Westbury from the City of Manchester.
Good morning. I don't have any commercials, but I want to publicly acknowledge what a pleasure it is and how productive it is to deal with each of you, the county manager and county clerk and finance director, as well as all of the department heads that we as the City of Manchester have to interact with and deal with, probably more than folks would think being a city with a county. But like I say, it's very productive, and it's just been a pleasure, and I appreciate all the help and attention that you give anytime that me or any of my staff might have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Chair, if I just might comment, that's a two-way street, so we appreciate what they do.
I can say give those to that.
I was at the public forum last night political forum in Warm Springs, and those same comments were made by several of the city council people and mayor. Are any other cities represented? Okay, if any of the others come in, I feel like more will be coming. We'll give them a chance to speak. All right, we'll move on to time for the constitutional officers, and I do not see any of their offices represented. Okay, we'll go on to department heads, and we'll start over here to the left with Skip.
Nothing at this time.
All right, Ren.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I hear you. I'm listening to you. We had this really nice painting that was presented last meeting, and it was proposed that maybe we could do something with it with our logo. I've done a couple of them. Basically what I did is I kind of took our existing one that we had and put the painting in there, and then there's a second one. I personally like this one a little better, but there's a second one there as well, and I just kind of wanted to get feedback from you. Remember, you like the second one?
I do, but I like the bolding of the letter on the front.
Yeah, okay, and that's exactly what I'm talking about, some feedback, maybe go to caps or something like that on the lettering, but this is just a rough draft. I mean, we can go back and forth, but I mean, like I said, this is just based on, something very nice that I think that we could, carry on in the logo, because, she worked very hard on this, and
think it looks good.
Like to get her-
Leave it right here for just a second.
You like what?
We need to get her accepted.
I would say, yeah, we would have to get permission, certainly.
Well, I remember you had asked her in the meeting, she said, I guess her response was,
Yeah, we talked about having prints made or doing something of it, yes, but we certainly need to get her on board as well.
right.
Brent, would this be something we could be looking at for our automobile?
Yes.
Cup loaders? No.
Well, I mean, everything, letterhead, all that, website. Because right now, like I said, we basically have two that we're using in different, places, and
It'd be best to have one.
That's right.
I like the one having the established 1827 on it.
I
You don't
like
have to
that.
have state of Georgia. You
Yeah.
just have to Georgia, so like if you could put that in bold around there, so. I guess something we can continue to look at, and we'll certainly talk with
Absolutely.
the artist and make sure we have permission to use it.
Okay. That's all I got.
Certainly both.
Even if we have to make it where her signature is put at some point.
Her signature does come up right here. I really don't want to affect the painting. I mean, we could probably put something, I could Photoshop something in there, but
I think as
that's,
long as her signature
Yeah.
there.
so.
Okay,
All right, I'll make some more changes to it and then probably shoot it out to y'all.
all right, thank
All
you.
right.
Sean?
I just want to tell everybody we had a great time at the Cotton Bean Fair. We got 10 adoptions out there on Saturday morning. And everybody remember this week, we're going to be at Lake Meriwether, and then everybody mark on your calendars the 21st, it's Saturday. We're doing our big fall festival at the Animal Shelter. We're going to have games set up, we're going to have some prizes, we're going to have candy, we're going to have some barbecue, we're going to have some fresh pork skins. And then we'll do our movie night that night. So everybody come on out and join us. I'd like to see a couple of people out there if we can.
Okay, thank you. Tyrell?
Then there's,
Patty? All right, Ron?
the only thing I have is item number 3 under new business.
Okay, all right. Keith?
We had a pretty good weekend at the fair this weekend, all calls. We transport about 3 or 4 off the fair grounds. About 20 calls here.
Alphonse? Joey?
Nothing today.
Miss Jane?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to give you the results of the Keep Meriwether Beautiful. And Skip's got to pull up some of the photographs that we took.
I expect to see the opening credits.
yes, if you consider picking up trash a success.
Yeah, I just want to say how the challenge was to make a movie involving garbage.
Should be easy in this county.
It was easy to take the pictures, I'll tell you that. We had 117 volunteers on teams. Those of you in the audience that worked that day in any capacity, I want you to stand. Come on, stand up. I know there are a bunch of you. Irene, get yourself up. All of you. I mean, we had a tremendous... This is just part of the 117 that was out there picking up or manning the containers. We didn't even count the ones manning the containers. Public Works had people in every container, especially the ones that we didn't have volunteers at. So we especially thank him and his staff for all they did. Those 117 volunteers picked up 240 bags of trash. Just those teams. Now, you saw all the other stuff that was brought in, all that household goods stuff. We had more containers this year than we've ever had. We had 15. We could have used 30. You could see from the trash. Pollard helped this year for the first time, and he supplied us with 4. And then we had a CNC, Waste Management Department. And I appreciate everything they've done to help us, because if they hadn't supplied the containers, we certainly couldn't have done what we did. The tires, you saw all the tires there. Mr. Westbury told me they picked up 32 tires just in Manchester. But Public Works is where they take the tires, and we had, at the time, I believe that it may have changed now, 570 on the trailer, and there was about 150 on the ground. So over 700 tires, 752 tires probably at one time. And this is, every 6 months we do this, and we get that many tires. So it's amazing. And then the sheriff told me that his community service workers, from the time we've been doing this, he started with community service workers, and they picked up over 3,000 bags of trash. So it's continuous effort. As I rode around from these sides to sides, I saw areas where we didn't even touch, and we could have had people on every road in the county. It's just amazing. And we're trying to educate. We're starting with children in grammar school, elementary school, trying to educate them to go home and tell mom and dad, not to throw that McDonald's stuff. But it's a process you've got to go through. So we did have award winners, and we gave 2 awards, first and second place for the most bags picked up, and first and second place for the most volunteers. And I'm pleased to say the city of Lucasville had 42 volunteers in the city of Lucasville picked up 61 bags of trash. The city of Greenville was the second place winner in the number of bags. They had 32 bags of trash that Greenville picked up. So I appreciate that. And then our second place winner for volunteers was Manchester Middle School. Jessica Harmon got together, the students there, and they had 21 volunteers working, cleaning up around the school. So they've been out of school this week, and I haven't been able to give her a award to her. I'll take it to her tomorrow. We presented them with a certificate, first and second place, and then we also presented them with a beautiful mug, and those were beautiful mugs, that got the first place, so we appreciate that. But it was a successful event. We had a discussion at our meeting on Monday. We met on Monday to present these awards, and our committee has respectfully asked if we could plan a work session with all of you to talk about the future of what we're doing and how we can maybe fund some containers throughout the county, whether it's through SPOS, we don't know anything whether it's considered available for SPOS or if there's other fees that we can assess to try to get containers. You saw several of those people putting up trash or taking out their trucks. Excuse me. And they all said to me, how come we can't have these containers here all the time? We let this stuff build up for 6 months, and then we bring it all at one time. We'd love to have this container here every time, every week. And so those are just the things. I know it's future long range, and we know there's no more in the budget right now, but if we don't start preparing now, we'll still be in the same position we're in 5 years from now.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that goes back to what I wanted to, those grand stations, where we can have it available for them all year round, so that they can put it there and we don't have this situation.
And that's what we're shooting for. So if you would let us know when we could have a work session to talk about it, it's too much to talk about in a regular session. We would bring out a group with us and have some serious conversation. So thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work, your leadership. All right, 4-H. Any report from 4-H?
No report, but things are going great in Meriwether County 4-H. We celebrated National 4-H Week last week, and so I asked all the 5th graders in the county to dress in green, and I would say about 85% participated. So I have about 400 cupcakes in my car about to take to the schools for them to celebrate their green spirit. So things are going great, and we look forward to a great year. And hopefully next year, or in the next 6 months when we do Keep Meriwether Beautiful, we'll have a 4-H group participating.
Thank you. Anything from the chamber?
Yes, 2 quick things. You already mentioned the candidate forum we had last evening in Warm Springs, and I want to publicly thank Bill Gregory for moderating. He does an excellent job, and we thank him for that. Also, I want to thank the county for using the county bus for our hiking and fair again, transporting people to our Red Oak Covered Bridge, and also Larry Dunaway for his faithful service in manning that tourism booth and getting it all set up. So, thank you.
All right, let me go back to the city. Mayor Prater came in. Do you have anything from Warm Springs?
We're gonna have to do something about the traffic around Roosevelt and Laurel Hour. Excuse me for being late, but it seemed like the more I've heard, the more interruptions I got. Things are going well in Warm Springs generally. We're still having problems and issues with water and sewer, and hopefully we're going to get the pump station that pumps up to the hotel and Roosevelt Place fixed by the end of the month. It was my privilege to represent Meriwether County and the small cities of our region at a round table with our congressman recently. When I got the invitation, it just came as an email, I thought, well, that's going to be a big group, and they just invited me to join the group. When I got there and found out that I was representing the smaller cities. Our congressman is very interested in the things that are happening in our communities, and we talk about broadband, infrastructures, and the opium problems. I want to thank the Chamber for hosting the forum last night. I thought it went good. I may get in trouble for this, but I would gladly work with the 5 council members that were there last night, and I thought I had a pretty good press conference.
Let me ask you something. I spoke with, I know Carolyn was saying that too, we spoke with Mr. Patel about the Best Western.
Yes.
And if I heard him right, he said maybe another 2 months before
Well,
they
we're looking at, the outside will be usable December 1. The Rooms, we're looking at possibly just before Christmas.
Oh, really?
But everything is looking beautiful.
Oh, it is, it's absolutely beautiful. I just thought we were about ready to open.
Well, we're trying.
Yeah. I'm just missing a lot of opportunity between now and the end of the year. Of course, I mean, it'll come around again, but it's just a lot of, I know there's a lot of big class reunions going on, and I saw where somebody had posted to check with Best Western to see if they could stay there. I noticed that last week, whatever, so we'll be glad to get them whenever they do open. All right, any other cities or any other department heads? Did I miss anyone? All right, we'll move on down. We do not have need for a public hearing. We do not have old business. So we'll move on to the first item under new business is Three Rivers, and this is discussion of the out-of-town transportation service fee. Hey, how are you?
This morning,
So our process for determining the $10 rate was based off of our transit provider and the cost of what it typically costs per mile to transport. And that's just our raw cost. That's not necessarily the cost that's being passed on to the passenger or to the counties. So we determined $10 would be an appropriate amount. It's still affordable. It's still a significantly lesser cost than any other potential option for transportation to go out of county. And most of the out of county trips, you're looking for doctor's appointment. We do have a big demand for county to county through Noonan's, Walmart, here in Meriwether. So we asked for public comments. We posted a 30-day notice for public comments. Nobody unfortunately showed for public comments. So from the comments that we have gotten for people who are still very much in need of out-of-county trips, $10 one way would work for them, because this is something that they're looking for daily trips. So we'd like to post to the board whether or not they would like to accept this $10 one-way fare for trips.
the minimum of 2
Correct.
passengers too, right? Before you'll make that out of town trip.
And that's just because of the sheer cost of what we would be doing.
Keeping all your costs then.
No.
No. So minimum of $10, one-way trip
Correct.
out of town.
So,
Are we still primarily focused on Thomaston, Newland, and LaGrange, and also including Columbus?
yes, and we're just trying to make sure that, one, we can get that minimum of 2, because those are the main locations for demand. Smaller areas, like if they're needing to go to a parent's house, that's going to be very, very different. We're looking for outside of those particular locations. So we're trying to keep main focus on those locations just to help again with the cost. And if we have somebody who needs to go, to something that's not one of those major cities, it gets very, very difficult to get that second passenger, especially for that specific time you're looking to go.
Any other questions? Any comments, Mr. Gay?
All the procedures have been followed, the public hearing held, and I know we've had a great interest in this, so our recommendation would be to move forward with approving that rate.
All right, we have heard the recommendation from Mr. Gay and from Three Rivers, and we have a motion to accept the $10 out-of-town fee, per one-way trip, minimum of 2 passengers.
So moved, Madam Chair.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you so much. All right, confirm the amendment to the Mass Mutual Retirement Plan to establish withdrawal criteria.
Yes, sir. Chairman, Commissioners, we can bore you with a long discussion of this, but it's really pretty simple, and I'll try to explain this. Beverly is the true expert per bill on this, but Meriwether County has 2 different plans. We have a 457 plan, which is a deferred comp. We call that Plan 1. That's employee only, it's pre-tax. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to set up how the money can be withdrawn. And we had 2 different plans. We have another plan, which is a 401A plan, which the county contributes to, and then the county makes a match, and then the employee makes contributions as well. And we have 2 different methodologies of withdrawal. One really wasn't restricted, and this is not withdrawing county money, withdrawing the employee's participation. So what we make these consistent. And one of them had, it either had to be a hardship, which would be determined by Mass Mutual, or age 70 and a half. We thought that was a little high. So what we're recommending is that we go with both plans, that in order to be able to withdraw the plans from the pension program, because this is truly to set aside money for retirement, it either needs to be a hardship, and that's going to be something like your home about to foreclose on, or a serious medical bill or something, or age 65, because a lot of people are, at age 65 are retired, and that is the normal retirement age, I guess, for Social Security. And so our recommendation is that we rework our allowance and withdrawal of the plan to make both plans read that it's either got to be a hardship, which is certified by Mass Mutual, or age 65, and withdrawals can happen at that time.
Employee funded plans.
Yes, it's employee funded. This is not the county money whatsoever.
And we will have input into that discussion on the hardship as well.
Yeah.
It's just not totally next week.
So you cannot withdraw the county contribution regardless, is that what you're saying?
No.
But what you have put in yourself, you could perhaps withdraw for what you're meeting this criteria.
Right. And of course, if it's pre-tax, they'll, and the employees need to understand there's going to be penalties and interest, whatever, with that. But
Personally, I'd like to maybe have several meetings with the employees. It's their money.
right.
Instead of us just sitting up here making a decision for them, discuss it with them, educate them on it, and let's get what their input is, and I'll make a decision based on that.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
And I mean, we can do that. It's kind of difficult because this is not really a savings account. This is a plan for it.
No, I understand the retirement plans, but I don't want to make a decision for them without some of their input.
Well, this is, and I understand that. This is actually participated in y'all's plan. This is, if they went out and got their own plan on the side, then they could do whatever.
But they're distributed.
Yeah, but the difficulty with that is some of your matches are also contingent upon what they have in the plan. So we don't want to have a scenario where they put in, say, 4% to get a 2% match, and then come back and say, well, I need to get my 4% out. It's just difficult, but I do understand. And, employees may say, well, I've seen folks draw it out for vacations, all these things, and I always said, man, I hope that was a great vacation, because it takes you 15 years to make up your contribution again of what you did.
But again, I think if we educate them on it and tell them to get their input, that's what I'd like to see. I don't know what the rest of you.
Well, and certainly you can inform them about the penalties. A lot of people do not realize the amount of those penalties when you withdraw early too, so that can help go into decision about whether to withdraw or
Because if
not.
you're not, I think it's 59 and a half, or maybe 59 and a half, those penalties go away. You still have to pay tax on them,
Yeah.
but the penalties go away at that point. But prior to that, when you start withdrawing, you end up with, tremendous amount of, penalty. You'll hardly get any money. Withdraw $100, you might get 50. But, well,
I don't have any problem having kind of discussion with, whether it be all employees or with the department heads or whatever, because what you mentioned about the match, I didn't think about that, because if they do put it in just so we can put the 2% in to draw it out later, there needs to be some consequence to that as well.
There does. And we talked about that. 'Cause
That
that's
is
one
a
of the things.
benefit.
Yeah, and I would want to use it as a savings account. Another thing that I would like to see is maybe try to offer to the employees, I know a lot of places have credit union, and that's really good for saving up your dollars for, Christmas, or for that extra dollars that you need here and there, car repair or whatever. And we just had a chance to talk about that, but I don't think we have a local credit union. We may be able to talk to maybe some of the banks or something about a little program like that, because then that hopefully would provide a source of income where they wouldn't have to come back to this. But I'll tell you what we'll do, we will be happy to take this back, and we'll talk to the departments about asking to discuss it with their employees and bring that feedback to you guys.
There's no kind of time constraint whatsoever here, right?
We need to do it as soon as practicable. Right. I mean, we're trying right now to get all the points of the pension plan, lined up and squared away.
You think you could talk with them before our next meeting, which would be 2 weeks?
And I know I put a little stop in the train, but I really don't care, because I think that we need their input, and that's how I'm gonna base my decisions.
We'll be happy to get that.
Now, the 1% increase in the employee savings plan, that went into effect 1 October?
1/1/18.
Oh, it's gonna be January, okay. So we still have time to bring them abreast of what's going on.
Sure. We also have a lady from Mass Mutual that comes here. She was just here and met with a lot of the employees, and also when we're having an open enrollment, we're meeting with a lot. Not only the lady from Mass Mutual, our representative there, but we also have our team with Jim Fallon and Bobby Carter that are our brokers. They also meet with people. They're available by telephone anytime, and they will come in here and meet one-on-one with anybody. I do see what you're talking about with education. We're just trying to really help the employee out of this.
No, I understand helping them, but I also think that it's an opportunity to explain to them exactly what it is, because a lot of times when you have these other companies come in and they explain it to them, it's not on a level that certain people can understand. And I think that it is an opportunity.
You're not already in that
Yeah,
business.
it's an opportunity to lay it out, let them know this is what's gonna happen, these are possibility of penalties if this. So that's why I want it done that way, and then I'd like the feedback, even if it is just from the department.
Okay, we can certainly do that. And then it's also a good opportunity for us to promote this to the employees, because the worst thing in the world is wake up when you're 55 years old and say, oh, I need to start planning for retirement. You can't get there. You got to start young. And
With that in mind, Madam Chair, I move that we table confirmation for the next meeting.
And that'll be on the 24th.
Okay.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. All right, next is a request from the Arts Meriwether to close the road at Covered Bridge and close the bridge for an event on November the 4th.
I'm representing Arts Meriwether this morning for that request. Have great thanks to Theron Gay for working with us on this. He's attended, I think, 3 of our meetings. We've been in existence for a year, and in that year we have had a music event. We have had a plein air weekend where the artists came and painted throughout the county. We helped present Charlotte's Web associated with the Serenby Playhouse, and we are working with them again for future performances. And this November we want to have our culinary arts event, and that is going to be a farm-to-table dinner at the Covered Bridge, in the Covered Bridge. We have a chef from LaGrange, Chef Jeffrey Tucker, who is so excited about this event and has been so easy to work with. We have communicated with Principal Thad Jackson at Greenville High School to use their culinary students. We've also talked with Boy Scouts to have Boy Scouts come in uniform to help assist and make sure people don't trip and fall and that sort of thing. And we have a sponsor through Jackson Heating and Air out of LaGrange, who, if those of you who went to the Cotton Picking Fair may have seen the big tent on the fairgrounds. It's a heating and air cooled or heated tent. They're going to set that up for us. So I think it's going to be a very nice event. We are limited to 84 tickets. The tickets are $60 a piece. We are very optimistic that this is going to be a successful event and sell out very quickly. We do need the bridge to be closed for that day if possible so that we can set up everything. So we are requesting if you could approve that the road be closed for that day from 8 in the morning till 12 at night.
Like Bishop Crocus Farms.
Crocus Farms is also sponsoring and working with us just beautifully. So we're really excited about this event. A similar type event was held in Griffin in the spring, and they called it the 6th Street Bridge Dinner, and they sold 300 tickets in a week, and it was very successful. And we had communicated with the woman who set that up to kind of see how we wanted to set ours up. And when we just mentioned that we had a covered bridge, she says, that is where you need to have it.
And the group would also need permission from the board to utilize the bridge itself. And then they will be providing liability insurance, code county. That's,
Can I speak about that? Liability, I talked to our liability coverage yesterday, and he said we would not need an additional policy. He sent me the stipulations under which we were already covered.
Sure.
We're good.
That's correct. That's correct. Thank you.
I guess I got one concern. Will there be fire extinguishing stations around down there? Will y'all be doing that? I would like to see something there handy. Alphonse could probably help you with that.
I'm sure we can
Because
take
if
care
a
of
spark
that.
got out down there, that thing is leaking.
Oh, yeah.
We're probably going to have off-site parking too, to be able
Yes.
to have some transportation down, because, you know, it's
Oh,
pretty,
yeah, there's no way to park.
nowhere to park, it'll be, especially with the road being closed.
Where
But
can
we've
they
got
park?
some
Up at
options
the,
for that. We're working on that.
They work on that.
When will the tickets be available?
They're available now. Carolyn can probably, when the tickets available.
Just as soon as we say yes to the online ticket sales. We'll push a button and they'll be ready.
84.
We're just waiting to make sure we can get approval from the county.
All right, thank you. All right, any questions?
Yes, it's 12 o'clock a.m. To midnight.
8 a.m. to 12 midnight. Any other questions? All right, Jerry, make a motion. Oh, excuse me, question.
Meal included, but that's it.
Oh, yes.
That was pretty good.
$60, I hope so.
The title of our evening is Merriweather Menu.
Merriweather Menu. Sounds great. All right, we ready to make a motion?
I don't think we got to disclose the bridge, right?
That's right.
Madam Chair, I'm.
Oh, wait a minute, he says the road.
In the road too.
And the road, yeah.
And allow use of the bridge.
Okay. In that case, I move that we close the road and allow use of the bridge for November the 4th, 8 to 12.
Road and bridge, okay, I'll have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next will be set a public hearing for October 24th to hear a request to close portions of Weaver Parks Road and portions of Oakland Road. Ron?
This is an informational meeting only, primarily for the county commissions to have opportunity to ride this road and see where it's located. We have a request from 3 property owners that own property on Weaver Parks Road and Oakland Road, and they are requesting to close portions of both of those roads. I have the map here, I didn't realize that there, should have put it back there behind the commissioners, but I have a written request from these 3 property owners requesting these portions of the road be closed, and I also have published the notice of the public hearing. It was published last Friday and will be published again this Friday, which meets the requirements of the law before the county can close the road. Briefly, the Weaver Park Road is this section right here. And it's about 1.2 miles. And it goes from, begins at the intersection of Beaver Lake Road, and it runs east to the intersection of Oakland Road. And then the next portion of the county road being requested to close is Oakland Road, which is this road right here. And it runs from the intersection of Beaver Lake Road, and it runs northeast up here to a dead end, which is a creek, a bridge that I've been out for years and years. And the bulk of this property is owned by 2 property owners. Luncheon Properties owns all of this property. And then East Oakland Farms owns all the remaining property. And there's one other owner, Roy Brady, owns this little triangle right here, 1.5 acres. So that's the requested portion of the county road to be closed.
Well, there's right now on Oakland Road, I'm not sure exactly on the map, when the railroad comes across, there's another small county bridge that's out right now as well.
Good point. One of the property owners made a request as president, if you want to just get some general information from him. And of course, got a full of it here at our next meeting.
I have a couple of questions. If that bridge is already out up there off of Oakland, what turns there, so there's no through traffic anyway going, I would think, from Weaver Park, unless they go Weaver Park and come down Oakland. Would that be correct?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Do you know what the distance is using Beaver Lake Road from Weaver Park down to the Oakland Road intersection? Compared to going the other way, is what I'm...
No, I don't have that figure. You're talking about right here?
If somebody has to use Beaver Lake Road to get from Weaver to Oakland, I would like to know the difference between that and going Weaver Park and down.
It's gonna be approximately, 1.3 miles, 1.4. This road here, going into Western Road is 1.2 miles, that right there. And this is the section you're referring to, Commissioner, it's right here, so it's about the same distance, about 1.2 miles.
I'm just trying to think, if somebody's got to get to those points, just making sure it's not a further distance for them.
Ron, do we know how long that bridge has actually been out? I can't remember in my life.
I don't know exactly, it's been out, I know, 20 years or longer.
Talking about the one in Oakland.
You know,
Right there going across the
here.
Whose commission district is this? Yours. I just wanted, if it was one of the others, I just wanted to make sure they knew about it before they get here for a hearing next meeting if they're here.
That's all I have, just information for the county commission.
Any
And
other
let you know,
questions?
legal notice has been published, and I have a written request from all the property owners. All the property.
So there's some kind of, is it being posted that, like we talked about before, signs out there saying that the request will be coming before us on the 24th? Give everybody plenty of opportunity to.
Right, will be posted in all these terminations.
Are there any other additional property owners in that area?
No. Not in front of the county road.
Any what?
Houses?
Any houses on the roads?
No. There's one here, but this is owned by Lumsden Property. It's one house right here. See, Lumsden Property owns all of this, and this one, and these both farm, the remainder of the property is one single property owner down in the Lord region. I have a letter of request also.
Could you summarize the reason that they want the property, the roads closed?
Mike, before that, Mr. Lumsden.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody?
All right.
I agree with the motion for the fire protection and the covered bridge, right?
Naturally you would.
But I have not seen a single vehicle since I have owned the property other than our own on Weaver Parks Road. And we're asking that just the dirt road portion be closed there, and the Oakland Road, the same thing applies. And we just like privacy, and there has been a little dumping, but that's happening everywhere, as we know. But it's very private back there, and it would just be good for the three property owners, and it's unanimous that we certainly attempt to get it closed.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, this will be set for a public hearing for the 24th. And Ron, y'all make sure, like I said, everything's posted like it needs to be.
We'll have signs out there on all
Citizens
these.
have the opportunity to speak.
We'll get those out there.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll see you then.
All right, items 5 through 11 are a lot of budget amendments. We'll just turn it over to Mr. Bill. You want to talk about them all at one time? And then
It's up to you guys, if you want to talk
can we
about it.
vote on them all at
vote
one time, or
at
do we
one
have?
time.
Is that fine with everybody? Just
Yeah, that's
unless we've got some discussion or whatever. Okay.
And these are 2017, 2018 budgets for the new fire district tax and the new fire district bond. Those will be separate, we have separate bank accounts for them. And the rest of them are fiduciary or special revenue funds that we're required to segregate by law. The jail fund, the law library, 911, the date fund, and the hotel motel tax. Budget number 1 is for the fire district tax O&M budget. Expenditures and revenues of $1,088,586. You've got the breakdown of that budget on your next sheet there. It's based on the tax digest of 458 million. 2.55 mils, and then we're budgeting 90% of that $1,145,880.
That fire district number should be, fire bond should be .7.
I changed that.
Okay, good.
That gets us to $1,088,586.
Any questions?
And as we talked in the last meeting, we will probably, based on collections that we receive in the next 2 months, we may hold off paying some of the utilities in the fire O&M and continue to pay them in the general fund until they're able to pay those. That makes sense, keep from having to borrow the general fund to do that. And the next one, budget number 2, is the actual .07 to collect and pay the debt retirement on the note. And that's also down at the bottom of your spreadsheet as well, 306,000. Questions on that one? All right. Budget number 3 is for the jail fund. Collections through the court system, superior, probate, magistrate, to fund the maintenance on the jail, $50,000, revenue and expenditures. Budget 4 is, again, through the court system, funds collected to maintain the law library at the courthouse. Expenditures and revenue, $4,000. Excuse me. Budget number 5, amendment number 5, is to the E911. These are fees collected on landlines and wireless phones to partially fund the 911 emergencies we have in the county. It's pretty interesting that the landlines, we expect revenues of $70,000, wireless $237,000, so it gives you an idea of the breakdown there. I think there's a general movement around county administrators and finance people to maybe approach the legislature about raising that per phone rate. Right now, I think it's $1.50. It's been there for as long as I've been in government.
Well, we discussed with the decrease in use of landlines, the cell phones are not always easily taxed for the area where they are. I mean, any number of our phones could actually, the tax, the fee could be going to another county if you don't check on it.
If it was legislature to raise that fee to $1.50, then I'd like to see it raised to $5, but I know that's not gonna happen.
It get tiered in over time. But, the reality is, if they don't do that, it just goes back to the tax.
I think taxpayers are gonna pay it one way or the other, that's right.
It should be fees based upon usage.
Budget amendment number 6 is for the funding of the DATE fund, drug awareness, training and education that's administered through the sheriff's office. Collecting fines from Superior Court, probate court, and the city courts contribute that as well. Revenue and expenses of $30,000. And budget amendment number 7 is the hotel motel tax that we collect and then forward to the
Chamber's tourism efforts.
What period of time is that? Do you know?
That's for a year.
That's for the whole year, that's all I'm saying for the whole year. Okay.
Those are the 7 budget amendments.
Okay, do we have any other questions? All right, we have the budget amendments, that you've heard Mr. Gregory speak of. We have a motion to approve all of these. This is 1 through 7.
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, next, number 12 will be a request from the Lake Meriwether Board, which I know Commissioner McCoy.
Okay, we're looking at putting a deck there at Lake Meriwether as our progression of improvements come about there. And mainly, just what we're asking is just if we can move forward. Obviously, we'll have to look and see what all is involved, and I'll have a price list to bring back to you. We're still kind of up into the air as to how we want to build it, what we want to construct it of, but we still need to get this thing moving.
Is this a deck or a dock?
Did I say deck?
You said deck. That's
I
what
meant to say
I'm trying to
dock.
figure,
I'm sorry,
I just want to
dock.
make sure.
That will be another story. But anyway, just looking at the dock there, actually, there's nothing there at Lake Meriwether. When you bring your boat in, you have to step into the water. And doing it right will involve an aid to the people out there that's in the boats, as well as provide another area to fish on that thing.
So you're just asking for approval to start looking into it?
Approval to get it started, yes ma'am.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, number 13 is the state radar list.
Chairman, Commissioners, back in 2011, Georgia Department of Transportation provided a radar list and the county adopted it on June 8th of that year. But every year they update this list, and so we have received the latest, newest approved list, and it supersedes and replaces all the previous lists of ordinances and will serve as a controlling document for the program. So what I really want to do is to have you guys accept this updated list, put it in the file. We'll get another copy back to the sheriff's office, and then we'll get a copy out to Tyrell to make sure that our roads are properly posted. So
This is just county roads.
this is county roads, and I think it also includes the state routes. Yes, it includes state routes.
What about roads within the cities? Is that something separate?
Most of the roads in the cities are going to be such that they're going to be either a state route or they're going to be below the 35 or below. But this is primarily roads in the county. And let's see, some of them do say within the city limits. Let's take a look at that. There's a school zone at Mountain View. And there's a school zone at Greenville High. And other than that, none of them list within any city limits.
We have a motion to approve the state radar list.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. And like you said, we'll get the proper paperwork to those who need it.
Right.
Okay, next we'll move back to Mr. Gregory for the finance report.
The last page of the packet, budget amendments is the county bank balances. As I mentioned earlier, we opened up 2 new accounts yesterday with the fire bond district going in with the bond. Thank you. General funds, $125,000, that will be enough to get us through the rest of this week. Expect close to $1 million around early next week. State insurance tax, tipping fees, and we should get our first payment of the property tax. Commissioner.
Have the bills gone out?
I haven't seen mine.
I haven't got the tax. Have the tax notices gone out?
I thought they had, or
As far as I know, they've gone out.
I haven't received one. Have you received? Nobody's received anything? We might put a check, because I thought they were supposed to be ready to be sent out a week ago Friday, wasn't it?
We always approve, like we take samples across the board and check to make sure that the taxes are correct, especially this year adding the fire bond and all. Everything looked good. She had to get back to him and
know they're out.
Has anybody received them?
Anybody out there got a Meriwether County tax bill yet?
Got
Not a good
another
sign.
county, but I haven't gotten very.
I would say I've gotten other counties, but I haven't gotten Meriwether, so y'all can please check on that. Anything else?
That's all I have.
All right. All right, now we have a report from Mr. Gay.
Yes, ma'am. To update you guys, just a lot of meetings, met with the Meriwether County Recreation Board, I met with the Airport Authority, the IDA, the Lake Meriwether Board, met with the Arts Meriwether Group. I have had a request, and this is something that we won't decide on today, but I know we're having an event at the Covered Bridge. Well, I had a lady that came down and she loved it so much, she's gonna get married in the future, and wants to look at using that as the setup for a wedding. So we probably need at some point to talk about what we want to do. And
We've had those requests before.
we have, and she was very nice about it. She's just like, man, I love it. I live somewhere else, but I'd like to come back there. And, we just need to talk about that at some point. Wanted to get, and this is something that I don't have to have today, but I wanted to get y'all's feedback. GDOT has sent out a couple of questionnaires concerning some bridge replacements they're going to have here in the future. One of them, of course, is Dan Stribley Road. And what they're asking is they're trying to gather criteria and feedback locally on traffic patterns and whether or not an on-site detour or an off-site detour would be necessary. They've sent us a request to look at Dan Stribley Road, but they've also sent us a request to look at a bridge here in Greenville. I'd like to get the mayor to talk to her about that because it does have a lot of traffic, and that's going to require them to route it back either through neighborhoods or some other
Is that the one going to
the Branch. Sure is, and that one I think is coming before the Stribley. The Stribley Bridge is not set to be able to be under construction until 2020, but they want to go ahead and get all of that. So if you guys have any thoughts or ideas on how you think it may impact, please let me know, and I'll get with Mayor Glover and get her feedback as we put the input. It's a pretty long questionnaire, traffic patterns and so.
I would think the Dan Stribley Bridge would last much longer than until 2020. Are they talking about doing something entirely different there?
The Dan Stribley
Yeah,
Bridge?
that was
Yes,
the
sir.
one that GDOT said that they would put up to replace completely.
Yes, they're looking to replace that completely with a new bridge. It's going to be a,
We don't want to get off their list. They're willing, GDOT's willing to do it.
and that was already even in the list. That was in the works. We got to put that on even before we got the bridge repaired.
They must be going down concrete stair.
It's a expensive project, but it'll be one of those that none of us will have to worry about. Yeah.
Well, while you're talking about GDOT, what is the status on the Roosevelt Highway train trestle? I mean, isn't that supposed to, I thought that was in there for this year.
They are starting to do some of the work on that. Mayor,
I just don't see anything happening there.
They've sent out the bid requests. We've gotten some calls from at least one contractor requesting to use our property out there for site to put filter on. But the last I heard was September would start, but they haven't seen anything.
I mean, it doesn't look like any, I know they gotta do some work to jute line to use for the detour, but I just don't see anything happening there.
And they sent me plans for the utility movement. They got to do the power, water, and sewer lines, but I haven't seen anything like that.
Okay. I was just curious.
one of the things on the Jeep line is, we replaced that bridge when that culvert blew out. And of course, we were asked by GDOT to go ahead and do that. And in their original, they were now talking about replacing what we replaced. So I sent them some notes on that and said, y'all may want to look at this. We upsized the pipe and, shouldn't be sufficient. They may have to, if they want to widen the road, they can go in and add some, some pieces to the end, but it's counterproductive to take out what they've just asked us to do. So I'm hoping they'll get that worked out. But I can check in on that.
Yeah, Like, and somebody asked even yesterday what the status was on it.
Okay. In addition to that, been working on the fire truck bids, Chief and Bill and I, and those are almost finished. We'll have those ready. Probably we'll have a request for bid added, not this Friday's paper, but we'll shoot for the following Friday. We've got the fire station site plans. We opened those, we took a look at all of those. A couple of errors on one of the plans we need to get corrected, but we can do that right away. Gonna talk to the architect. We need to get everything done and completed. I'm hoping not the next Friday, but the following Friday, we'll be able to get the bids out of those as well. So I want to kind of get those coming in out of the ground. I know Bill and I are calling and talking to another property owner this afternoon about, some other station locations. So I'm anxious to get that going, and hopefully we will be able to get that bids out and bid proposals out on that for the end of the month.
But that correction's just a straightforward pencil?
It's a straightforward pencil. Yeah, I think the scale is off, and so we'll mention it right away. Right. I'll mark that up and send it back to them. That's a very quick fix.
Did we get the contract back to GP? I get email. I think you were out of town when I emailed y'all about the paperwork from GP. They were saying they had not gotten it back.
Yeah, I don't have to go back and look at that because I don't remember getting that, but I'll look back. Would it have been emailed or?
It was emailed, is what he said. He just said that he emailed it, I think, to Bill.
Okay.
He just not had any response to it, but I can double check as well.
That would be great.
I'll look while y'all in that necessity.
Okay.
And the last thing I've got is wanted to two things. Want to mention also we've had our pre-bid and our bid opening on Justin Book, Max Scott Road. I'll have a recommendation for you guys at your next meeting. And Terrell's been working on our LMIG. I'd like to go ahead and get that road list together before I go ahead and submit it for next year. But I'd like to go ahead and get it submitted to GDOT. That way we can go ahead and get our funds in a little quicker. And it also will set us up to be able to get our bids out a little earlier next spring.
How are we coming with the paving for this resurfacing this year? Are we close to have they started on Shiner Road yet? I haven't been out there. Okay.
I know that they have already completed the surface treatment up on Gold Mine Road and some other areas up there. I'm going to call him because I need to talk to him about a couple things anyway to see where they are, but they should be nearing completion.
Crowder Road looks like it's about through. They had a lot of equipment out there Monday that was not there today when I came by, so it looked like those.
And then of course striping will come back in about 30 days. And so that should line those up. But it's looking good. But anyway, if you guys be thinking about your bid program, sure what you'd like to see.
I have one ready.
Right, you got one. That's right, you got one. And I know Miss Mary had one she wanted. So we'll get the list out to everybody on that. And I'd like to maybe talk about that maybe at your next meeting.
Okay.
Okay. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair, tax notice was printed Monday and mailed on Tuesday. Yesterday.
Okay. Check your mailboxes.
Check your mailbox tomorrow.
3 days. All right, thank you for getting that. All right, next one, I have reports from the county commissioners. Ready here?
I don't have anything at this time.
I have just a couple of things I want to make note of. If you're participating in the report card conferences, Manchester High School is tomorrow morning, starting at 8:30. I guess for the orientation, then it really starts at 9, and then Greenville High School is Friday morning. And the time I saw on it was 9. So if somebody knows anything different on that, that those are those times for the report cards. Is there a question?
I know I was wrong the last time because we got conflicting emails, but I just got an email this morning that said the push screen go out to the 28th.
Oh, really? Okay, all right. So Greenville's may not be Friday then. And then the Harvest Hoedown is in Warm Springs this weekend, so looking for something to do, we'd love for you to come by. We've got lots of vendors who will be down in the park area and into that area, lots of food vendors as well. Of course, all the shops will be open Saturday and Sunday, and then the restaurants and all. So we'd love for you to come out. It's supposed to be a nice weekend, unless the forecast has changed just recently.
Piggyback on the back of that one is the Fish Hatchery having their open house from 10 to 2. And there will be trying to revitalize the Friends Group at 2 o'clock meeting. So if you're interested and prepared to volunteer, come on out and feed you a hot dog at the hatchery and see what's taking place down there.
Yeah, I was going to mention that as well. Warm Springs will be quite a busy place this weekend, so we'll hope that you'll come out, like I said, and remember that about the high schools, and we'll try to get clarification on the date for Green. We'll announce if it's the 28th, we can announce it
No,
again.
I read that incorrectly, it's the 18th.
18th.
18th at 9.
Okay, 18th, so we won't have another meeting before that, so that's a Wednesday. Seemed like there was something else.
Appreciate that. Sean, you reminded us, I think, that you're going to be at Lake Meriwether this weekend. You will have your puppies there, your cats, you'll be open for adoption. And I think you're going to have a movie on the grass there too.
We're going to show a movie on the grass out there.
Great.
At Lake Meriwether.
Lake Meriwether this weekend. Yeah, I just wanted to be sure I got that. Attended the Cotton Picking Fair this weekend. It was a mass of humanity there on Saturday. It was almost unbelievable, the crowds moving through there. The Boy Scouts told me they had sold 41 churns of ice cream on Saturday. That is amazing, versus 5 on Sunday. But anyway, it was trying to get there and trying to walk around was very, very hard to do. Just a quick update on the covered bridge. The work we've been doing down there, we completed last week. We went down and poured the 2 slabs in order to install the sign and also to the echo box. And there will also, beside the echo box, there will be an area there where people can get little brochures and maybe even a map. What I found this week, and we're getting a lot of tourists that come in down there, 2 ladies came from Minnesota, 2 hours apart, 2 separate cars, and when they get there, they want to know where to go. That's the next thing. First thing they got to ask is, where can we go from here? And when you start telling them how to get over, say, the Flat Shoals, well, can we cross the bridge? I mean, it's just simple questions that they don't seem to grasp. So I sent some that way. I sent some to Lake Meriwether. I sent some down to Warm Springs. So all day long, there's people showing up down there wanting to just look at the bridge primarily. We mentioned Lake Meriwether earlier, and in conjunction with what Sean's doing, we are making some progress down there. I don't know if y'all seen our gate or not, but that seems to be helping quite a bit. And there's going to be other improvements taking place, and we met again last night, and I think we're starting to really perform as a committee or as a group now, so I'm real proud of that as a board. So we're moving forward with that. One negative thing I've got to bring up, the firefighters over at Appleton Fire Station are on my back. It seems like when we were doing the collections, September the 30th, that somebody decided to bring some burned waste where they burned the combustibles off, and they had screws and nails. Did not put them in the dumpsters, just dumped them down there on the ground. So if we got any kind of magnet, we'll pick that stuff up.
No, we don't, but I'll check it.
Okay. You know, that may be something we can just build and sit on the front of that Bobcat.
Yeah.
How big is that alternator on that thing? Is it a pretty good size?
It is. It really is. We also have the rubber tracks on it, so we don't have to worry about that tires.
I was thinking we could just build that and have it where we go forward, and then come back, turn the electricity off, and then drop it right in the bucket.
I'll check on it.
All right. That was all I had.
One thing that I failed to mention yet is going over to the Chattanooga State Park.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we did make it over there to the Chattahoochee Bend Park. That was the same Saturday, September the 30th. There were 3 of us from the board that went over and looked to see what you can do when you have state money. It is amazing. But if you haven't been to that park, it is really nice. We looked at the trails, we talked to the trail keepers, and we have a better idea of what they're doing. And of course, some of their practices we'll want to adopt. But one of the things we're doing, and I guess you've already talked to, what's his name, Matt, as far as that pulverizer they use on the front of their Bobcat. Did you talk to them about that?
I did, Barry, just talked to him.
Okay, Barry talked to him. What that will do, and give you a quick idea, we can take that thing, put it down, and it's one pass, and you have a trail. There will be no stop sticking up. It's better than you can do it with your hands by any means. It just makes one quick pass. Disturbs very little, as a matter of fact, and it will give us what we need down there. So when the leaves get off and it gets a little bit cooler, and I don't know when that's going to be, because I think we're expected to break some records today and tomorrow.
It was hot yesterday.
It was. But anyway, that's pretty much the update there.
Thank you. We'll move on to our attorney, Ms. Anderson.
It's supposed to be cooler next week, actually.
We hope so.
I found 3 kittens under my office, if anybody's interested. Other than that, they're really cute, Beverly. That's all I have. We do have need for an executive session to discuss both legal and personnel matters.
Will we have time to do that before we have to have our call meeting minutes?
Yes, we can take care of that.
All right, first of all, let's move on to our time for public comment. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to say anything, if you'll come to the podium, give us your name, and we'll give you 3 minutes to speak.
Oh, one thing I failed to mention, the wall is coming on quite nicely down in Greenville, if y'all haven't seen it. Of course, the rain slowed things up a bit, but
All right, we will be going into executive session, and you're certainly welcome to stay till that is over. But we have some future meetings on the back of our agenda. October the 11th, of course, that'll be the meeting that's coming up after the executive session. October 24th, a 4 p.m. work session, and same day at 6 p.m. will be our regular meeting. Can I have a motion to go into executive session at 10:12? Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.